What's up, guys? Welcome to Performance Marketer. I am going to pick up from last week where we spoke about the 5 types of segmentation. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through an example using one of the segmentations and show you how you would use it, why it's effective, and how you can make it work for your business. So stand by. All right, guys, what's up? So, like I said, we spoke about segmentation. We talk about using surveys, the ability to communicate with your audience. You want to be able to design something custom to each of the people that you're speaking with. And you want them to make them feel like they are being taken care of, that they're being understood, that you can relate to them. And the way to do that is by using segmentation surveys. Now, we've gone through talking about how you want to investigate your audience using different types of surveys. One of them being a discovery survey. And there's a number of other surveys that you can use to investigate depending on your goals. But the whole concept for those types of surveys is you want to learn, you want to understand what's going on with your audience. When you create a segmentation survey, you want to now be able to identify which group, which segment they belong in. And you want to segment people by the same characteristics, something that's very similar with the group of people that you're going to put aside. And now, by doing so, what you've done is you've created your target markets, which gives you the ability to now position your brand where you can make each target market feel like you customized your product for them. So let me show you as an example of how you would do this. And I'm going to write it out. So last week we talked about the 5 segmentation types, right? So there's the demographic, the firmographic, the geographic, the psychographic, and the behavioral. I'm going to go over segmenting based on behavior, and we're going to use purchasing behavior. So the segmentation type is going to be around behavior. Okay, so behavioral, and we're going to do it around purchasing behavior. Okay, so the whole idea here is around analyzing the customer's behaviors when they're going through the buying process. Okay, trying to break out the different types of people that are going to act in certain ways when they are trying to make a purchase. What are the objections that are stopping them from making that purchase? It's going to be very different. They all might buy the same thing, but there could be different reasons why they're not purchasing from you. So we're going to go through and create some of our segments. The idea here is that we're going to create some predictive segments. And the reason we do this is for a few reasons. Okay? Let me tell you why it is effective to create our predictive segments. Okay? 1, by doing so, it helps us understand the different customers' approach during the buying decision. So, different customers' approach during buying process. Number 2, it takes what should be an easy sale. It takes you through the process of what are the complexities. Why is it difficult for a user to make a decision to purchase your product? So you understand the complex issues during buyer journey. You get to understand the role the customer takes during the buyer journey. You get to understand the important challenges or objections a customer has about your product. And what it also helps you do is, number 5, it helps you know what is the most predictable and least predictable scenarios when a customer is making a purchase. So you understand the most predictable and unpredictable situations when making a purchase. So the whole point here, right, guys, is you have a purchasing behavior segment. You're going to be grouping people based off of this type of behavior. And the reason why it's effective is of these 5 reasons. Each customer takes a different approach. You understand the complexity during the buyer's journey. You understand the role of each customer. You understand the challenges and objections, and you understand what you can predict and what you can't predict during those situations. So the whole idea here and the use case of why you want to segment by behavior purchase behavior, understanding why someone will buy is a very powerful thing. So the whole idea is that you're going to want to take somebody through a survey. Okay? And what you want to do is you want to create your segments before they go through the journey. The way you learn about what segments to use is by using an investigative survey, researching. And by researching, you're going to come out with an understanding of where do people fit in the ecosystem of your business based on when they're making a purchase of your service or your product, right? So the whole goal of the segmentation survey is to identify, segment, target, and position. You want to take somebody through a process asking very specific questions that allow you to identify which group they belong in, so that you can get the same people with the same characteristics in each of those groups. By segmenting those people, now you've created your target markets, allowing you to now position your business in a way that's focused on their challenges, their objections, position it based on how they approach the buying process, how they are going through the process and the complexity of when they have to buy. All of those things are where you're now able to position your business to each of the people based on all the things that you're starting to understand. So let me give you an example of some segmentations prior to me setting up my segmentation survey. There's 6 different segments that I would create. Number 1, I call them my bargain hunter. Okay? That's somebody who's always looking for the lowest possible price. They're price sensitive. Price is very important to this person. Number 2, the research buyer. This person is extremely logical. They want to understand. They want to understand every step, every detail of your product. They want to know everything they can. Number 3 is my money back guarantee buyer. Now, this person doesn't want to take any risk. They want to know that if they go through the process and purchase your product, that if they don't like it, they can get their money back. And this is important because this person's afraid to pull the trigger. And if you don't focus on these guys, they're not going to buy. But by knowing that there is an out, allows them to go through the process and pull the trigger and purchase. Number 4, we're going to call that our testimonial buyer. Okay? So it's pretty clear what that is. They need proof. This person wants to see other people like them who have used the product, have gone and used the service, and it's worked for them. Naturally, you would use testimonials. Number 5, let's call that our lazy buyer. This buyer needs a push. They want a product, they need a product, but they don't pull the trigger. They'll say, I'll come back and do it another time. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And they keep pushing it off. Right? So push off, come back to it at another time, thinking it's always going to be there. And my 6th segment is my favorite, and it's the one that I fall in, the impulse buyer. The person that is emotional. This person acts on a whim. They hear something great. They hear how amazing something is. They don't even really know what it is yet, but they will pull the trigger and buy if it sounds awesome and dive in before they even know what they're getting into. So by doing this, I now have 6 different segments of people that I'm going to group when I have my survey. I'm going to understand where I need to knock down some issue that that person might have. I'm also going to look at making sure when I'm talking to these people that there's certain things that are very, very clear to them. So what'll happen, guys, is that somebody will come, they're going to go start the survey, they're going to start it, they're going to answer some questions. My questions are going to be tied to finding all 6 of these buyers. That then is going to break them up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 custom pages where I'm going to capture data and I'm going to be customizing my messaging to them. And then I'm going to set up 6 outcomes designed specifically for these people's challenges, these people's objections, the issues that they have during the buying journey, the approach that they're taking during the buying journey, right? We talked earlier about how the customer's approach is, understanding the complex issues, understanding what the role of the customer is during the process. What is their role? Are they looking for a bargain, or are they lazy, or do they need some proof, right? So these are all the things that are helping me understand my people, understand my audience. And when I'm doing this, I'm able to show these people that I get them. I understand where they are, I understand their issues, right? I become relatable to them. Like a lot of marketers just, they'll have their advertising out in the marketplace and they'll market the same way to all of these people. Does that make sense? No. Why would you do that? You need surveys. You need surveys. You need to ask people what's going on, what's their issues. The more information you have, the better you can cater and serve to these people, right? Knowledge is power. So let's just go through this process here and show you how I would use each one of these segments, and I would tie an outcome at the back end where now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to identify here, right? I'm identifying, and then I'm segmenting, and I'm going to target these people. And now I'm going to position my brand, my product, my service for each one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For the bargain hunter, I'm going to have a certain message. For the research buyer, I'm going to have a certain messaging, positioning the brand a certain way. For my money back guarantee buyer, I'm going to have certainty that they're going to know there's some return policy of some sort, right? Number 4 is my testimonial buyer. Number 5 is my lazy buyer. And number 6, my impulse buyer, right? So let's go through it. And then we list it out. So on my outcomes, and the idea here, right, is to be able to transition somebody from the start here of going through the process to be able to show them that I understand them, relate to them, give them something of value, And then during this process, I'm going to transition them from a searcher, a looker, to a buyer. My goal is to get them to take some action. We're being detectives, right? In SurveyDetective, we're being detective. Detectives, they investigate. They look at the facts, they talk to people, they try to get information. That's what we're doing. That's why I call this thing SurveyDetective, right? So we're being detectives. And once we do that, now we got to figure out where to put them. So now we're here on the 6 different segments and how I would sell these people. So let me show you. On the first one, for my bargain hunter, I'm going to make sure I emphasize a savings. I'm going to reassure this price-sensitive buyer that they are getting a good deal, right? I'm going to show the real price. So let's say it's $100 and I'm giving 25% off. I'm going to cross out the 100 and show the $75 for today. I'm also, if possible, I'm going to show them comparative products or services in the marketplace and how my price is better than theirs. So I'm going to compare products and show them side to side, mine's better and mine's a better bargain, right? I'm speaking to the bargain hunter. So that would be for number 1. Okay, that's my bargain hunter outcome. For my research buyer, this is where logic is extremely important, right? So what we want to do here, number 1, is make sure that they have all the details. And what I like to do is I like to go into my FAQs and I like to answer my FAQs to this research buyer. I want to answer questions that I know they're going to have before they ask it. I'm in my business. I know my business well. I know the majority of my objections and my challenges. So I simply reiterate what a question is and answer it with my solution. I make sure that that research buyer sees that. I want to reduce the effort they need to make to get information. I want to give them information. I want to give them the ability to do their own research, to be able to look and feel like they're making a decision on their own. I'm not forcing them to do anything. I'm just putting everything in front of them. I'm giving them the ability to make a conscious, researched decision. I'm also going to allow them to compare products. So the same way I would show the bargain hunter 2 products and compare if I can show that I have some advantage with price. In this scenario, I'm going to compare products that are mine and my competitors and reiterate the value that I bring to the table and why my product or my services is better and trumps whatever else is in the marketplace, right? So by doing this, the research buyer has all the information they need to make a conscious, informed, educated decision. So there's where I would focus. Number 3, our money back guarantee buyer. Okay. So in this scenario, this is somebody that doesn't like to take a lot of risk. They're scared. You need to make it very, very clear of all your policies. If you have a return policy, you got to make sure they know exactly what that return policy is. If you're doing one of those 30-day money-back guarantees, right? Try my product. If you don't like it within 30 days, return it. No problem. Return it. 30-day money-back guarantee. No risk whatsoever. You're standing by your product. You're telling the buyer, I've got value, man. When you come in, if you truly do not get value from the money you spend with me, then I'll give you your money back. And you need to be crystal clear with these people. Once you identify that these are the type of people that are nervous and they're scared to make that ability to buy something now, you don't want to lose those buyers. So by doing this, now you're pushing through this buyer who knows that they can get their money back if they are unhappy. Our fourth outcome, our fourth segment that we would be creating, right, is our testimonial buyer. Okay? This person needs proof. Okay? You want to find testimonials who have real results for your product or service. And you want to make sure that they see that. They don't need to see that you're successful. They don't need to see that you think it's awesome. You're going to show proof that people are going through your process. People are using your service. People are using your product. They're buying your product and they're happy. These are the reviews. These are the testimonials. And it's very, very important. I see a lot of people make this mistake, especially here. Okay? You know the people that are coming through. When you have a survey, right? We talked about this on last week's episode on how you're segmenting. So you're learning about who this person is with some of your market demographic questions. And by doing so, let's say you learn their age and their gender. Well, if you have a female who's 45 years old, then have a testimonial of a female in her 40s who's giving the proof. And if you have somebody else coming through who's a male who's 25, have a testimonial with a male in his 20s with his proof. You want to be relatable. If you know things about the person, then just stay with the trend. Keep giving them things that make sense to them. It's relatable to them. A 25-year-old watching a 45-year-old female woman who may be a mom with children, whereas the 25-year-old male might have just gotten out of college, he's not going to relate. So it's great that that woman's saying your product's amazing, but I don't know if it's going to do the trick, right? So I see a lot of people make that mistake. If you can, at all costs, try to make your testimonials relatable. Your fifth segment is your lazy buyer. Lazy. This dude knows he needs the product. He keeps going, seeing it, and then I'll do it at some point. I'll get to it, but doesn't pull the trigger. You need to figure out a way to get this guy to take some action. So what you want to do here is you want to create some scarcity. You do this by telling them there's only 10 spots left. And when they're gone, they're gone. You need to be crystal clear on that. 10 spots left. And I'll tell you another thing that's really important that helps this, especially with these lazy buyers. And that is if you can have some real-time data showing up as you're doing this. So if you have the ability to create some real-time results, you could see these 10 spots go down to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 spots left, 4, right? The whole idea is once you lose, you lose. This is typically for these lazy buyers who need a push. They need somebody to make them pull the trigger. They need it. They're going to be happy with it. They just need something to get them on their way. And our 6th is our impulse buyer. And it's similar. In the impulse buyer is emotional. I'm an impulse buyer. Anybody wants to sell me anything, if you get me all excited and emotional, there's a good chance I'm buying something from you. I'm the guy that will get an email, read it, get all excited about it, get some ideas in my head, and I will pull out my credit card and I will buy it right there and then. That's me. I don't know what to tell you. That's me. So you got to think about it. Like, what kind of buyer are you? The impulse buyer, people want to create excitement. They want to sell you on the result, on the what can be. Excitement, results. Oh, you're going to have 6-pack abs and all you have to do is spend 5 minutes a day. I'm in. I'm buying it. I don't even know what I'm buying, but I want 6-pack and I want to do it in 5 minutes every day. I'm in, right? And what you want to do is you want to do something called urgency. You want to create urgency. And you're also going to use scarcity. So getting somebody to feel like there's fire in your house and you need to get out. You need to create some sort of urgency and scarcity that gets these emotional buyers to pull the trigger. So you can offer a special discount for a limited time. Right? We all know about our one-time offers or a cross-sell. Somebody that's making a purchase, and then we all know the order bump, right? It's the, okay, buy this book with free shipping for $7. And then we get the credit card. And then right below that, we show the one-time offer, the order bump, which is this one-time offer where you can add this to your purchase for an extra $37. Buy it now or it's going away. These buyers buy that. Oh yeah. And your back-end offers, what you're cross-selling, upselling, downselling, impulse buyers will buy that. And this is a way for you to increase the value of what the customer is spending. And you do that with your impulse buyers. So, as you guys can see, by me creating a behavioral segment around purchasing behavior, you can see how I get somebody through my survey. I get them to give me some information about them. They're self-declaring information. They're telling me things about them that allow me to put them into different groups. And I've created my 6 different groups. I take those 6 different groups and I create a different message. I position my product or service differently to all 6 of these people, all 6 of these target markets. And at the end, I'm going to sell the exact same thing to all 6 of these people, but I'm going to get them there in different ways. The journey to purchase my product or service is going to be different for all 6 of these people on how they're going to get there. And I have to focus on each one of them specifically. So it's not like you have to go and create all this crazy amount of work. You ultimately have the same offer, the same sales page. But for example, if you're going to have a headline, well, then your headline should represent each one of these segments, objections and challenges. If I have 8 benefits, I'm going to rearrange my benefits on my outcome page, where on my sales page, right? It could be on your outcome page, or you can send them out to a sales page with a redirect link, where I'm going to just rearrange my benefits and put the top 2 that are most relevant for each of my segments. When I show my testimonials, like I set up here, for each one of these scenarios, I'm going to still have a testimonial on my sales page, and I'm going to make it relevant to each one of these segments. Ideally, I have a testimonial around the best price, or I have a testimonial around the guy who did all this research and bar none, my product is the best. I'll find a dude that's like, yo, I bought it and I knew I can get my money back, right? I'm talking to these people. Does that make sense, guys? I know it does. So say yes, nod your head. Yeah, it makes sense. Guys, this is it. This is the stuff that I'm sharing with the world. This is the stuff I'm going to serve you with. SurveyDetective is going to have the capability of allowing you to do all of this. It's killer. It is so awesome. I'm so excited for it. Right now, I have my founding members in my performance marketer group, and I'm taking them step by step through this process. I'm doing some discovery, learning about their business. Then we're creating a framework around what we want to ask these people. What are our segments? And then we're going to take them and get them whatever type of survey they choose to run with. We're going to set them up, get all the integrations in place, and we're going to go live. And we're going to get them to the market. And we're doing it all for them. The deal I offered was unbelievable. I'm ultimately treating each one of these people like they're a client of mine, and I'm spending multiple hours with these people, focusing on their business with them. It's a no-brainer. It's going to open up again soon, so you should sign up for our waitlist on SurveyDetective, surveydetective.io. Subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to YouTube channel. We're going to open it up again once we get through this process of 1, getting our founding members' surveys to the market, and 2, I'm creating a training program around this entire process that I'll open up after I get them to the market. So if you guys think this is cool, if this is interesting to you, if you have a business and you're struggling, or maybe you have a business and you're not struggling, surveys are the key. And I'm there to help you guys. I'm going to give you guys all of the strategies, all of the tactics that will allow you to execute this for your business. And I'm going to then give you the tool, which is SurveyDetective, to now be able to put this all into action. And the best part is, as I continue to do this, the cool feature on here that we have, I got this from ClickFunnels, is the share survey funnel option, where I can take a link, give it to you, you put it into your URL, and it immediately goes into your account. So if I go through this process and I have this all set up, I can just give it to you. And then you just have to apply it to your specific business. So I hope this was helpful, guys. Surveys are the way. Come be a detective, performance marketer. SurveyDetective is the way, baby. I'm pretty excited about this, and I'm looking forward to helping more and more marketers get their message to the right buyers. And I just want to add one more thing. If you like this episode, you enjoyed it, and you would like to get a PDF picture of this whiteboard that I have here, if you want me to give you this whiteboard, all you need to do is sign up for our waitlist. Sign up. The link is going to be below, and we will give you a PDF version of this entire blueprint on how to create a survey segmenting using the purchasing behavior of your customer. And if you do it and you have success, tell me about it. I want to know. If I can help you, that would be amazing. And guess what, guys? If I do, I'm going to use you as a testimonial. So if this is interesting to you and you want to get your hands on this blueprint of what I just went over, then just sign up, join the waitlist, and I will see you guys soon. Be well and have a good night.